You are the reason why movies are being watered down. You are the reason why trailers are revealing everything that's going to happen in the movie and spoil it and don't make any sense, and you feel zero to no satisfaction. Because tell me why one of the many things people talk about in the drama is that the film is misleading, because the main subject of this film was not revealed in the trailer. Not really the main subject, but the cause of the conflict in this film wasn't revealed in the trailer. And many of you said, oh my God, this is so misleading. Well, when movies are getting bad, I think you should blame yourself, not any other person, because they are giving you what you want actually. But they're not giving me what I want, because one of the reasons why I enjoyed the drama is because I did not know what Emma was going to say. A24 did the perfect thing by leaving that out in the trailer, because the title is the drama. A couple is about to get married. And you can see from the posters and the promotional images that this guy has bruises on his face, a wedding, and they don't look happy. So, what is going on? The drama. Supposed to expect something not wedding-ish that's going to happen and cause that thing. So, the first thing I saw when the movie came out is people complaining that the trailer of the film was misleading. And that was one of the reasons why I ran to go and watch it quickly, because let me see what they're talking about. And as a matter of fact, I got spoilers because of the people complaining about the film. I just want to ask, would you have enjoyed this film if the trailer revealed what Emma was going to say when they were playing this game? Because this game part was part of the trailer. So would you have enjoyed the film if you saw what she was actually going to say, which is the most interesting part of the film? The reason for so many discussions online. So the story follows Emma and Charlie, a couple about to get married. And while having dinner with their friends, Rachel and Michael, they decide to play a game of what's the worst thing that you have ever done in your life. Because Rachel and Michael actually played this when they were getting married, just to, you know, get closer and all. All four of them decided they were going to tell each other what's the worst thing that they have done in their lives. It's just like a silly, fun party game, I guess. And then Rachel revealed that while she was a bit younger, I don't know how old she was, but when she was younger, she left a child in a creepy RV, and there was a whole search party for this child, but she never spoke up and nobody ever confronted her for locking this child in this RV. And then Mike revealed that he used his ex-girlfriend as a human shield from a rabid dog on the street that was trying to attack them. So he used her to block himself off the dog. And then Charlie revealed that he cyberbullied a kid so hard that the family had to move away from this area. And then it came to Emma's turn. Spoilers ahead, spoilers ahead, spoilers ahead. So Emma revealed that when she was 15 years old, she planned a school shooting and she did not go through with it. But that's the reason why she is deaf on one ear. So the whole table goes like, oh my God, what did she just say? And this confession just changes the dynamic between these four people. So the first person to react here is Rachel. Rachel is the embodiment. I would say Rachel is the embodiment of cancel culture. Rachel is you. If you are online looking for what the celebrity has done wrong 15 years ago on Twitter or 7 years ago, so you can shame them while you are not so innocent yourself, then you are Rachel. Honestly, I think a lot of people are Rachel. Rachel is just the embodiment of all of us. I think the discussion about cancel culture is one that I have always questioned every day in my life. I even have the discussions with my siblings how, okay, should we really cancel somebody because of something they did 20 years ago when we can see that this person has clearly changed and they're not this other person? And it just feels like cancel culture is anti growth, because tell me why you feel like this person is such a horrible person for something that they did 20 years ago. I don't know how to explain it, but it's weird to me that Rachel has known Emma for the longest time and she's never seen Emma with a gun, but she thinks Emma is the worst person alive because she, at one point in her life, thought that Kay, as a teenager, and you know, as a teenage girl, there's a lot of like emotions with puberty and all, a lot of raging hormones, even as a teenage boy too, it happens to you. So Emma thought about this thing and she did not go through with it. And she's even living with the consequence of even having this thought ever in her head. But that doesn't matter to Rachel. Rachel is pissed and saying, "You're such a terrible person. My cousin is a victim of a school shooting. She's paralyzed." And it's sad and painful. And I get how I can rub Rachel off the wrong way. But at the same time, this is Emma. But we can also see in the film, even before this revealed, that Rachel has never been a very nice person. And from her bridesmaid speech, you could tell that she is still not a nice person and she has never been a nice person. So when she was speaking, I was looking at her like, okay, out of everybody who has confessed something that they've done here, all four of them, I think Rachel was the worst person ever because she did something and it never came to light or she was never confronted for it. She never had any consequence for what happened to her whatsoever. And even before Charlie spoke about what he did or the worst thing that he did, I was already raising my eyebrows for Rachel, like, okay, that is cold. But anyway, you did that a long time ago because a child went missing. I think she was even older than the child. I'm not sure. I'm not clear right now. I've seen the film just once. And maybe I should have paid more attention while I was watching it the first time. So I was like, a child went missing. There was a whole search party. I think you have to be like the devil's spawn for you not to say anything about a vulnerable child locked in this weird, creepy RV, and you locked the child in there and you didn't say anything. That has to be like pure evil, in my opinion. You did it, and there was no consequence. And even seeing her speak about it, she doesn't really care or she doesn't really think that she deserves any punishment. I think that's what a lot of us do online when we judge people. I'll say online or even in our day-to-day lives, in the workplace, at the market, we see people, we hear their stories and we judge them even though we are not experiencing that version of them from the past. Even though we have never seen that version of them with our relationships with them, but we do that anyway. And that's who Rachel is. Rachel did not really care about Emma. I don't know why Emma made her a bridesmaid. I think Rachel just feels like she's just this morally upright and superior person, like we all do. I'm just saying we, even though I do not do that a lot. I like to be fair. I like to understand where you're coming from. Rachel did not want to see where Emma was coming from or not to hear it that, oh, you're 15, you thought about it, you even got deaf based off of this plan that you had that you never even executed, just having a thought like this. She never saw that. She never listened. She was like, oh my God, crucify her. And that's what we do most of the time. Oh, this person has changed, this person, but we don't really care. We just feel like you've done this 10 years ago, so I don't care if you say you've changed. I think you're an evil person. And that's what we keep on doing every day in our lives. And I don't think that's like the best option because if everybody's judging us for every tiny or not even tiny everything, every mistake we have made, I don't think we will be humans or we'll be on this earth. Basically, I think everybody would be one way or the other unhappy because you cannot make mistakes. And I know this is a very, 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 very sensitive topic for people who have experienced school shooting or in areas like that, or people who have family members who died or got injured from this, like Rachel. Maybe I'm just talking, but I feel like we should grant people grace. I have to say, Charlie is the biggest coward ever. Like, he is just the worst person ever. I did not feel sorry for Charlie one bit in this film. And we had this movie basically from Charlie's perspective, mostly Charlie's perspective. We just got a piece of Emma when she was thinking of, okay, how in another case at another time, this how we'll be like right now, we'll be laughing or just something. And I think Charlie just runs away from the truth. He's a big hypocrite. What he did was also really bad, bullying somebody to the extent that they had to move away from town. Has to be really, he has to be a bad person. And he don't even do it face to face. He did it through the internet. That's cowardly behavior. I could get that he'll be upset that, okay, we're about to get married and the reason why you're even deaf, you never really told me about it, is something you can question. If my partner told me that this is the reason why they have this scar or this life altering thing, I'll question it. And I think Charlie did question or try to see, okay, does she have violent tendencies where she interact with people every day to day and all of that. But still, I think Charlie is a coward, and what he did with his coworker was just really disgusting. I think that's the worst thing. I think it's worse than thinking or planning a school shooting. I am very serious. It's really so hurtful that you would even spiral. I don't think the stress of planning a wedding would make me want to do that. So I don't think you should be doing that either. So what he did with coworker was really not very tasteful. It was really disgusting. I don't like that character. I think if I was Emma, with the way the film ended, I've seen some complaints to online saying that, oh my god, it was too rom-commy. I think that I'll be planning, or we should be preparing for a divorce, because I trust you to say, yes, I want to get married to you. And you know me, or this version of me, you've experienced version of me. I told you about a past version of myself, and then you spiral like this. What happens when we get into something together? Are you not going to abandon me? Why will you question how I feel for? I think you can question how I feel for you. But still, I just think what Charlie did was just really cowardly and distasteful. I cannot. I don't like Charlie's character. I don't feel sorry for Charlie's character, because it's a normal thing that anybody would go through. Anybody will question their partner's integrity or their violent tendencies when they hear something like this. But Charlie took it a bit overboard. And Emma is just this character that everybody's just judging. The audience is judging her, looking at how she behaves and what she does. Is she this sweet person? Or is she not this person for even thinking about this? I think the writers really did very well that we have to judge her and not even see her point of view, because we don't need to see her point of view. We saw her point of view as a bit, her saying that she was just interested in the aesthetic of it. And she's a teenage girl, and a bit of bullying here and there is why she even conceived this idea in the first place. But we don't really get to see more of that. We saw bits and pieces of her like that. But at the same time, we didn't really see her point of view or get a clear reason why. It was just what she told Charlie that happened, is what we got to see. And we had to judge based on that. And so I just think that Emma is just a teenage girl. And teenagehood or puberty can be very messy and chaotic. And that is really fine. But what matters the most is that she called herself into order and said, no, I should not do this. Could it have been because she lost her hearing? That's why she stopped this idea. Maybe. And then we saw how she became an activist against this problem that society have. But that was not enough for characters like Rachel and even some members of the audience, and also Charlie, because okay, why would you even think of that in the first place? But if we're being honest, as human beings, we have some of the darkest thoughts ever. And even though we've never brought them to light, they are still really dark. And we should not be judging anybody for that. That's just how I feel. Nobody truly knows you like you. And that's just the honest to God truth. Because some people are questioning, okay, should your partner really know everything about you? I think your partner can know anything about you as long as you are in a commitment with somebody. It's fine if they know anything. When I say anything, everything. If you want to tell them everything, that's fine. If you want to tell them anything, that's fine. I think that's what love is. As long as you feel safe in the relationship, why not go ahead and tell them? Because yeah, they're your partner and you'll be spending your life with them, maybe, or maybe not. Another controversy that I found really interesting and not a lot of people are talking about is about the director and the writer. Before this movie came out, an article that he wrote about his relationship with a teenage girl, 16, when he was 27. The girl was in high school. He was an adult. They were 10 years apart. Yes. So is that the reason why he made this film? Because it kind of seemed like he did a bit of reflecting on himself and if he should be cancelled. I'm not sure if that's the intent of the film, but I know the intent of the film is for us to question if we are just being judgmental people and about the hypocrisy of it all, the hypocrisy of the cancel culture, and also about judgment of people. So, but I feel like what this man has done is not very tasteful, and him even writing about that is kind of makes me raise an eyebrow about why he made this film the drama. But let me know what you think about the drama down in the comments below. I am so glad that I got to see this film. And yeah, I don't think I would press and play on it again. I think the only reason why I watched this film was because of the discourse online about the film and the questions that the film raised. And I have seen it and I'm like, okay, I don't think it's a profound film. I think it's a really good film. I liked a couple of the transitions and the camera work and all of that. I see people calling it a dark humor or a dark comedy, but I was not really laughing. I was just really concentrated on the drama because I don't think there's anything funny about this film. I think it's just you really looking deep into the characters and the questions that the film raised. But let me know what you think about the drama down in the comments below. I know I'm all over the place. These are just like my raw thoughts. No scripts at all. So thank you. If I missed something or if you would like a deeper dive into any character of how I feel about any character, put it down in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video. Until next time, goodbye.